me, can't really remember my very first video game. I have my earliest memory for it. Video games is playing Pokemon Fire Red for the SP, playing and sucking at Super Mario Sunshine for the GameCube, playing the Spider-Man movie games for the GameCube as well.
My first game was Hercules, Nintendo 64.
I don't exactly recall. I was very little. My father actually had an Atari 800 that he used to play. And I remember I would fall asleep on the couch while he was playing some Space War game. I don't think it was called Space War, but there's lots of warping involved, and all these little pixels would fly at the screen and make a noise that I'll never forget. But I think the first game that I remember playing and really liking was Breakout.
First game I ever played was the first Super Mario Bros. On the original Nintendo.
My favorite game, you ask.
Favorite game, I would say...
My favorite game I've ever played is kind of difficult. I have to say...
My favorite game of all time is pretty tough.
It keeps changing a lot lately, but I'm gonna say now it's gonna be Persona 3.
Naruto, Ultimate Ninja Storm 3, but then I want to say Kingdom Hearts Dream Drop Distance. Because they're both real good games, so I can't really decide.
I have a bunch of them, is the problem. But I think it would probably be Street Fighter 2. That really was the game that made the biggest impact on me, that I played the most and still play.
The reason Persona 3 is one of my favorite games now is because not only is it a JRPG game, but as well as a role-playing game, which is actually something that I look forward into always playing, role-playing games.
I would have to say, my most favorite game in the universe, the Xenosaga series, 1, 2, and 3. Why? Well, it told the most interesting story in the world. I mean, it was like, in one, you just found out stuff. You know, it was the first game that I felt really, like, had the links between each other. Like, the Kingdom Hearts series linked each other, but they left stuff out at times, you know? While Xenosaga kept in and, you know, closed endings and stuff, you know? And once you got to number 3, it was the final fight that led up to the end of it all. You had main characters done. You had a lot of loss in that game, and it really touched your heart.
My favorite has to be Persona 4 Golden. Because Persona the series has this long history of making games that people can connect with, and with Persona 4 Golden, which is the remake for Persona 4 for the PS2, it tells the story of a guy just moved into a city and makes really close friends with almost everybody you have a chance to meet, and I feel like that touched home with me a lot because I move a lot, and each time I do, I make really close friends.
I play video games.
Well, to be completely honest, I never really stopped playing video games. I mean, you know, it might be those few 30 minutes out to an hour that I stop for a minute for a while or something, or, you know, when I gotta sleep. But other than that, I'm on the game for, I'm gonna say, about 8 hours a day, maybe 12.
I play video games as often as I can because one, it's really fun, and you get into a game. When you really get into a game, it's and the game's really time consuming. You may need to take as long as possible to to do this.
Would this be including discontinued consoles as well?
Do I have to name all of them or just a few?
Lately,
PS1,
currently,
PS2,
I usually
PS3,
play.
PS1, PS2, PS3, Xbox 360, Xbox One, PS4.
An Xbox 360, and I have a PlayStation 2.
PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, PlayStation 3,
PS1, PS2, PS3.
Xbox 360.
I do still play Genesis, and I still play Nintendo NES. Those are all in regular rotation.
Nintendo's 3DS, 2DS, basic DS systems as well. Game Boys, laptops, even those joystick games that were so popular back in the old days.
Yes, I know the negative effects of games.
As far as negative effects go, they could be as much as anything else as far as like people choosing to spend their time on that instead of what they should be.
If you're I don't want to say weak-minded person, but if you're a person who could be influenced very easily, then you could then the things you do in the video game you could actually think you could do in reality, like in Grand Theft Auto.
Like they could have an addictive quality, but I wouldn't say it's any worse than Facebook or the internet. And before that, it would have just been anything else that will eat up someone's time.
I've been told that it causes a person to become violent, isolated, as well as just keeping to themselves in general. Like, basically where they're not social to like the outside world, but like they just stay to themselves.
I think because when people rob their cars or shoot people, I think it comes from Grand Theft Auto.
I don't believe that there is a real strong correlation between video games and violence. I personally have like a history of being short-tempered.
No, I don't believe it's true for several reasons. Because, for instance, I play games. I still like to go outside and, be sociable. I like hanging out with my friends. I like riding my bike, playing basketball, football, all of that. I talk to people all the time,
I want to say kind of yes, because
One way I usually calm down, trying not to lose my cool, would be playing video games and acting out, doing things in something violent like a shooter or a fighter or Grand Theft Auto, where I can be as destructive as I want without any real consequences.
And I have fun with people. Usually I think that's someone who's shut in to only that type of world, Not someone who has the ability to go outside of it.
like I said before, there are some people that have weak minds. They can be influenced easy.
Yes, I do believe that because
Well, kinda no. I don't believe that because
I would feel that's true because
when you actually think about it, now they have games for toddlers, Leapfrog, and all that stuff that helps to develop their brain better and faster and stuff. And I think it really does help because if I'm playing a game that I have to do math on all the time, it's like being in school but not being in school because it's something funner. I feel like if we utilize the fact that kids would rather be playing video games or this, and that, and turned it into something educational while it's also fun as well, people would get a lot more out of it,
you should. Because in order to get smarter, you have to do real life things like study real hard, not too hard, but study hard, and you work hard at what you're trying to do, you'll get better. I don't think video games could like actually progress that.
It's like a game of chess. You have to think ahead of your moves, like where you just to the point where it's like you know what you're gonna do ahead of time. It helps you think. Like it gets you thinking.
Video games to me is
A way to bond with my friends.
A great escape from life.
It's basically your imagination
It's a safe haven for us.
and it really touched your heart.
one way I usually calm down.
I mean, in my own life, I chose to study art and animation and to do the things I do because of my interactions with games.